The public who wishes to address the board on any such matters are limited to 3 minutes for one matter, up to a maximum of 5 minutes for all matters. There shall be a limit of 20 minutes for any matter unless such time limit is waived by the majority vote of the board. No board action may be taken. Thank you. Mr. Alvarez?
Thank you. I'm going to take off my mask since I'm vaccinated. So I want to thank the board for hearing CSEA during this time prior to public comment. The first thing that I'd like to, I think I only really have one item to share, and that's regarding negotiations. I'd like to share with the governing board as well as for the public record to share that negotiations between Nsd and CSEA have been very productive, very respectful. We really enjoy the business relationship that we have with the district. The district administration has always treated classified unit members with respect and dignity, and many of our members, they're very proud of the family feeling that they have here at the district. And so I want to give a big kudos to Superintendent Brady, as well as Dr. Hernandez, and we're getting to know Eric a little bit better, and he's been a great help during this time of negotiations, sharing the numbers, how he crunches them, explaining the data, and so I really have a very positive report to share to the board. There's been very productive discussion during negotiations. Of course, we're not going to always agree on everything, but we're always able to have a dialogue and work on solutions through our collaborative efforts. There is one last pending item before we can finalize our negotiations, and that's that we're seeking an increase on an increase on salaries for all of our unit members, and so we still have some dialogue on that matter. What I would also want to share is that the COLA given by the state is 5.07%, and we're working collaboratively with the district to try to get this number high up as possible. I think the district team has been forthright and honest in their presentations to CSEA, and for that we're very appreciative. But our reasoning for wanting to speak to the board and share our thought process is just that we have concerns about inflation taking place. Everything costs a lot more for our members. Actually, when we last met as a team, CSC team, one of our members were talking about how their grocery bill was so high, and it was just and the purpose of that trip was just to buy fruit, and it was significantly high. I looked at gas prices, and the gas prices have been pretty high up. We're in a housing crisis. At a different bargaining table, an administrator shared with me that with an administrator's pay, he's still living month to month. And my thoughts at the time were, well, how do you think the classified employees are living right now? They're trying their hardest to survive as well. And we're hoping that the district would be willing to give additional compensation that's already been negotiated for the CSA salary schedule. Thank you, board.
Thank you. Next, we will have Ms. Maria Alshouse.
Good evening. My name is Luz Maria Alshouse. I work at the district for almost 27 years. I love this district. It's my family. And I want to talk to you about what we are confronting with the epidemic that we have over here. Right now, we feel a little bit safe, but all the prices is one of the ones that I was telling them that I went in shop and I was spending $40 a week for vegetables and fruits. That day I went and the same thing, $90. I was like, okay, it's okay. I went and like my regular Saturday, I went and get gasoline in my car for the whole week. And I was paying $40. Then I went and put it on and I was going to $55. I said, oh my goodness, my budget was shrinking and shrinking every time. And I want to let you know that our work for the district we do it with a lot of pride. We're proud of being a national city, the schools. Every time the principal say, go here, go there, do this, do that, we take our hat and go and do it. We take the other hat and put it on, and we do it because we are happy with our work. If not, I was not here for 27 years. And I know all my colleagues is the same. Talking about all the classified members, each one that talks to us, they say the same thing. They are proud to work in National City. The other thing that was going to say the same with, he said that all the prices for the houses is going up, it's less. We have like right now my family is living with me. Instead of being two, we are eight in my house. Then it's everything goes because the prices of the rents are so bad, and with the COVID they lose their place. And for mama, a Mexican mom, we always open our our kids to our house. And I want you to put in your mind that when you go shopping, we are suffering the same like you guys suffering with our payment. It's not growing up, it's getting short, small. And when you go shop, remember when you right now thinking about if you give us the raise or not, think about how it's affecting you family. You part of my family too. Then I only wanted to let you know that we are here for you and for the kids.
Thank you. Next, we have Jennifer Reynolds.
I'm so proud of the previous speakers. They did such an excellent job. I really don't have much to cover except for the same to speak on behalf of the library media specialists in my position, as well as others in the campus supervisors I've been talking to. And we've just been talking about how it is hard to do our jobs, that the classified employees have been there since the beginning of this pandemic. Some of them really at day one, still on campus, still serving, still being tasked with different things that they don't normally do, as you already know. So I'm speaking on behalf of especially my library media specialist. I talked to one today. She was talking about how her rent had gone up $200 and how difficult it is for some of our classifieds to make their ends meet. And especially those, I'm in a luxurious position of 7.5 hours, whereas some of our campus supervisors, they're only 2 or 3 hours and very close to the minimum wage for them. And yet they're there faithfully. Some, even though they're only 2 or 3 hour employees, they might be there on campus 6 hours, volunteering in classrooms, helping students, and that they work, some of our classified work with all the whole campus, which is not just the students, but the parents, the staff, all the people around our campus. And yet sometimes we're not treated as a classified employee. I can say that the same as a certificated. Even in the titles, classified versus certificated, there seems to be a difference. And yet we're all the same family, like we were talking about being a family. So when I'm speaking on behalf of my family, the one who I wanted to come to speak today, Susie, she's a Rancho librarian, beautiful. She was my student and she's now a librarian. So I feel like my job is kind of done. I'm getting older. My job is done. She's replaced me in a lot of ways. She's very active and loving as a mom in this district. She has children in this district. She loves her job. She's also been an admin assistant. She was the position that's why I wanted her to speak. She was the position where what was cut in the office. She wanted me to speak for those people in the office. She, as a librarian, has been called in to the office to help because there's not enough help in the office. Before there were 3 people, now there are only 2. And so she knows how tough that job is. She was also a special ed aide, so she also knows that. She also has family that has left our district for pay discrepancy. So so we're losing good people that are part of our district, part of our family, part of the generation after generation in National City. So I'm speaking on behalf of her. So thank you for listening, and hopefully you will think about our salaries and an increase, especially for them.
Thank you. Ms. Mona Rivera?
Hello, good evening, Board, Madam President, and Superintendent Brady, and the rest of the family that's up here. Thank you for having us this evening. I really appreciate your transparency on getting me down here in the time that I needed to get here. I did invite all of my classified staff. You're going to see blue shirts coming here and maybe talking to you again. I might be at the podium again. But I'm going to be just frank here. The reason we're here is for our negotiations. And partly here for 2/3 of our people that is in the classified ranking salaries that are 2 and 3 hour people, and they fall with the campus student supervisors, instructional assistants, and they're more the real big, larger crowd that I'm standing up here for tonight. 1/3 of our people is benefited people, but that's not what's saying they all have 8 hours. They come with 8 hours, 7 hours, 7.5 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours. And, just getting 1% or 0.5% all the time is not enough. I'm looking at what the COLAs are coming down from the states. We're blessed today. I'm going to say we're blessed that I have 2 board members up there that's been in this district for more than 15 years. And, you can help us with that transparency that classified has not been getting the proper COLA. We've been very flexible with you all, understanding, listening about the enrollment. We had so many cuts. We have jobs that needs to be filled. We have cuts in the M&O department where the director had an assistant before. He doesn't have it anymore. We had 4 roving custodians. Now we're down to 2. We're not fully staffed in the custodial department. The other departments in the warehouse, the CNS department, and the purchasing place, our assistant buyer is not there no more. We had so many cuts. We have cuts in the IT department. We had 15 years ago, again, our 2 wonderful board members were here. We had to reorganize the child nutrition department, and we lost all of our workers. And the child nutrition department was the one to the plate, feeding the community with a smile on the face. We were here, and I got a lot of 3-hour workers in the child nutrition department too. I can go on and on and on, but there's positions that is missing. And I would like to, especially in the M&O department, I have a gardener that we're going to need because one got promoted. I have a skilled trades worker that has not been filled. It was a mason man. We can't get a mason man because we don't have the funds to pay them. We're not at the range where we need to be. We've talked to the district on moving our salary range for over 5 to 7 years ago, and there was no movement in that. And I figured today we needed to bring it to the board to let you know what's going on. I would like to have an appointment and meeting with you all, and if I can be instructed on how to do that professionally, so you guys can hear more. And I'll be back at the next meeting to speak to you all to continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you for all your comments. The board will now go into closed session. Good evening. Before the meeting starts, I'd like to mention that if you are fully vaccinated, since there are no children present in this room, you may remove your masks if you like. And also, I'd like to remind you that this meeting will now come to order, please. I'd also like to remind you that for contacting everyone, contact tracing, we also would like you to sign out the sign-in sheet that is in the back. Thank you very much.
We're getting everybody.
Thank you. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight and welcome to the meeting of the National School District Governing Board. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The recording secretary, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Lizárraga.
Present.
Ms. Gates.
Present.
Ms. Sarmiento.
Present.
Ms. Betancourt Castañeda.
Present.
Ms. Dollar.
Present. Item 10 is to introduce and welcome new employees. Dr. Hernandez?
Yes, welcome. And for our new employees, when I call your name, if you could please come up to the front and stand in the front. I am going to ask that Board President Dallas stay behind for COVID protocols, but she would also hand you your pin at that time. So we're going to start with Alexis Abarca, Instructional Assistant Special Education at Olivewood School. She's not able to be with us today, but Ms. Abarca has worked as a behavior therapist for Quality Behavior Solutions and as a para-educator for the Lancaster School District. She holds a BA in Psychology, California State University Northridge, and a master's in education with emphasis in an ABA from National University. So when you see her at Olivewood, please help me in welcoming her. Our next employee, and he is here with us, Jose de Jesus Huerta Huinquez, Custodian Knight, Lincoln Acres School. If you could please come up here and join us up here. Mr. Huerta Huinquez has worked as a plumbing technician and as a maintenance technician for Ponto Plumbing Company and for FPI Management Company since 2017. So welcome. Our next employee is Charles Eves, Resource Specialist Program Teacher at Lincoln Acres. He's not able to join us. Mr. Eves holds an Education Specialist Instruction Credential, mild, moderate, and a BA in Agricultural Economics from ATB University, Bauchi, Nigeria, and a Master's in Special Education, mild, moderate from National University. He worked as a substitute teacher for Swing Education. He has worked as an educator since 2009, working for Compton Unified School District as a Resource Specialist Program Teacher and as a tutor for Professional Tutors of America. So when you see him at Lincoln Acres as well, welcome him. And then our next employee, she's here with us, Yesenia Iniguez. If you can come up, there you are right here. Yesenia is Instructional Assistant Special Education at Olivewood School. She has been a church volunteer supervising children at their child care facility. So welcome. And our final employee is Melissa Northcutt. If you could join us. Melissa is our Human Resources Specialist for the Human Resources Department. And Ms. Northcutt has worked as a credentials officer for the Chula Vista Elementary School District since 2019 and as a human resources administrative assistant for the Lemon Grove School District. Ms. Northcutt also has attended the AXA Personnel Administrator Academy and the CCAC Credential Counselors and Analyst Conference. So of course, please help me in welcoming Ms. Northcutt. Welcome to our new employees.
Next, we have public communications. Public communication provides the public with an opportunity to address the board regarding an item on the agenda or other topic. Anyone wishing to address the board shall submit a request for oral communications card. Cards are available near the entrance to the boardroom and are to be submitted to the recording secretary. A member of the public who wishes to address the board on any such matters are limited to 3 minutes for one matter, up to a maximum of 5 minutes for all matters. There shall be a limit of 20 minutes for any matter unless time limit is waived by a majority vote of the board. No board action can be taken. Okay, we have 7 speakers. The first speaker is Mr. Alfredo Alvarez, and you will have 2 minutes, and you spoke previously at the closed session portion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, board, for having us again. And so we brought our CSCA family with us. Earlier today, there was a couple of points that we tried to drive home. Some of them being that we've been in negotiations. We've had very positive interactions with district leadership, and I think the biggest point that we wanted to bring home was that we're family here, and so we brought your brothers and sisters. And the other point that we wanted to drive home was that currently, right now, what we're experiencing as a nation is inflation, and the prices of everything are going high. And we're in the middle of negotiations, and we're asking the district team, the district board, to please consider digging deep and using the power that you have to help out these unit members, because gas is going up, food's going up. We're in the middle of a housing crisis, and it's really unbearable. I shared earlier that I was at the table at a different district with the administrator, and he openly shared that even with his administrator pay, that he struggles month to month. And I just want to reiterate that our members are classified employees, and they don't make anywhere near the pay that administrators make. So please consider how hard it is for them to make ends meet. And that's really the point that I'd want to share, is that everything's going up, and we'd like to see our wages go up with it. And with that said, I want to go ahead and yield the rest of my time. And I want to thank the board for being here, for leading, and thank you for your fair consideration. And I can't wait to hear what our members will say. Thank you.
Mr. Alvarez, we will not be able to yield time today, as we're at the maximum for everyone speaking. So we will just continue and give everyone their time, allotted time.
Yes, of course. I think that's what I meant. Like I was done speaking. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Jennifer Reynolds, and after Jennifer, we'll have Luz Althouse. On these two people, Jennifer and Luz did speak previously, so each of you will get 2 minutes, please.
Madam President, do we have enough time for all to speak?
Yes, we
Okay.
do.
So I'll try and keep it brief, so I also can yield time.
You will not, we cannot yield more
Okay.
time. We're
All right,
just
well,
giving each
okay.
person their time.
Well, I'm didn't introduce myself. I'm Jennifer Reynolds. I'm the LMS at El Toyon, but I've also been part of the district for many years before that. And I do consider this my family, and you're all part of my family. And a good example I'm just going to share with you is sitting next to me is my beautiful former student, Susie, who I spoke earlier about. I'm very proud of her because she's teaching me a lot of things that I didn't know about the district and how it works, and even speaking here. So I know she's a little nervous, but I'm really, really grateful for her and her help with me, even in my position. And another testimony is Victor. I just met him at El Toyon. He was a sub-custodian at El Toyon, and he came back to visit our school to donate some plants that he grows himself. So I want to just share that we are a family here, and we may not all know each other or anything, but we get along really well. People love one another. They take care of each other in this community. We are part of this community, and that's why I'm speaking on behalf again of the CSEA members that are part of this community, that live here. Susie, she's just right down the street. They're part of this community and serve so well, and yet again, small amount of hours that a lot of them have, like 2 or 3 hours. And that's not really enough to support a family or help feed them. It may supplement some income, but so it's not asking too much, I think, for you to really consider the COLA raise for all of CSEA, especially those other 2 or 3 hours that don't benefit from the benefits. I'm so grateful for my benefits. This district has done really well with our benefits, and I really appreciate that. But I also feel for my coworkers that don't have the same benefits. And we do talk a lot about equity. So I'd like to have equity for all. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you again, board members and staff of the district, and thank you for coming and support us. We need you like the district needs us. One of the things I want to talk to you about it is the economics. It's going, our money is not getting inflated like everything else. Our check is still the same. And like I was telling you before, I went to the store and buy the fruit and vegetables of my week. They always do the same thing. Was $40, now it's $90. And for me, it was like, I didn't realize that COVID gonna change everything. And the same thing, I go and put gasoline every Saturday to my car. That way I do the whole week. And the same thing was $40 and it was $55 now. And my pocket was shrinking my money more. And I was looking to with, in my family, I have to open my house to my kids because of the same thing. The prices of rent is going up, and we like I say, my Mexican mom, I say, come on, let's go. It's okay. We can do whatever we can do over here all together. And another thing too that I read in a comment that they say there was in June was 5.4 raise of food, clothes, gas, and all the things at 5.4. I was like amazed, and I said, I'm not going to believe that. But when I went to the store, I believe it. And one of the things too, when the district asked about any classified employee, any one of us, go and do this, we go and do it. We take our hat and we can get another hat. And thank you very much. And I hope you guys can see we are a family, like she said. Think about us as your family because we are. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Susie Marta Cárdenas. You have your full 3 minutes, and after Susie, we will have Corina de Leon.
Good evening. My name is Marta Susana Cárdenas, and I started working in this office about 21 years ago, and there were a lot of Martas. So now I go by Susie, my middle name. Just a little story, and I'm very nervous, but I thank you for this opportunity. And I'm here, when I get nervous, I go like this, sorry, to represent our CSEA. Like I said, I've been here almost 20 years, and I'm very thankful for my job, for my previous teachers, and many of these people that are here I've known for years, and I just want to speak on behalf of them of the hard work we've done, at least for the last 2 years. We read a lot, so I'm losing my voice. I apologize. So for the last 2 years, especially, we've worked so hard, and I've been an instructional assistant. I know what they've been doing when they don't have a sub to cover for them, or they're short on staff and they have challenging times with students, but they're there to support their teachers, their principals, anything they need. I've been an office assistant. I was laid off 12 years ago, but I'm thankful I got the opportunity to stay in the district, whether it was part-time, and then now I got an opportunity to go full-time. And everybody here in that is present and that are not able to be here have been working so hard. I've seen the office staff our customer service and nurse sometimes when we don't have a nurse, sometimes they can't take a break. We've had a lot of new job openings and sometimes we're short on staff. So every CSEA member has worked so hard, and we are thankful for this opportunity to speak and to share with you like everybody is sharing. I am part of this community. I am an Nsd student. My children are here, and I'm thankful for the hard work CNS did so my girls could have lunch when I had to work. And I'm thankful for the bus attendants who keeps my daughter who gets anxiety and she has to ride the bus, and the bus driver who brings her safe, and our M&O and our custodians who are trying to work their best with deadlines and time from, especially now with COVID. And I'm sorry if I'm missing someone, and instructional assistants, campus supervisors, and like they're saying, it's expensive. And here in National City, many of us live here. My rent, I have a letter, it's going up next month. And we work hard as a family to purchase our home, and it's been so hard. And this could really make a difference, especially like my previous teacher and now coworkers said, our 2 and 3 hours. It could really make a difference for them, especially end of year, especially since many of them have had health, expenses, and they don't have insurance, or their family members have gone through so many things. So I just want to say thank you. I'm sorry I'm talking so fast. I wanted to make sure I had enough time. But thank you so much for this opportunity for this evening. And please know that every CSEA member and representing also our library media specialist, we are so thankful and appreciate, and we hope that you can support us with this matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Corina de Leon.
Hello, good evening. My name is Karina De Leon, and I'm an office technician at Central Elementary. I also am on the executive board of CSEA, and I just want to thank, first of all, the members for coming out and showing up in blue and being, in unity. And board members, I just want to thank you for giving us this time to be able to express, some of our requests of the COLA increase. I'm kind of piggyback on what some of my fellow colleagues said. The inflation, minimum wage just went up to $15 an hour, and yet some of our employees are just receiving just a few, maybe $2 more than what now minimum wage is providing, and so. We really feel like right now the COLA is just a fair request for the cost of living increase that we're all seeing now. The gas, just our buying our bare necessities that we need is pretty much doubling now the cost. And I just want you to also just keep in mind that through the pandemic, there a lot of classified were the ones that were still at the schools working. We had the custodians that unfortunately they didn't have one day to be able to work from home. CNS, campus supervisors were doing material distribution. The office was there. So and like like Luz mentioned, classified, I would say, are very humble people and are very hard workers. And I have never been, when we request from a classified colleague, can you do this? Can you do that? We're willing to work hard. And so, just, taking in consideration that and their families, I know many of my fellow colleagues that have to live doubled up. We see our families, our students having to live doubled up, but also our staff. And it's just kind of the reality right now, because the housing here in San Diego County is really high. It's very expensive, and families have to double up to be able to afford living here. And again, are a lot of other staff. Unfortunately, I don't live in National City, but I feel a part because I do feel like NSD is a family. And I love the community here. I love the families. And I know a lot of the staff here live even just around the corner from some of the schools that they work at. So they are, they're looked at in the community like role models as well, amongst other parents and families. So I would just, I think it's done. Sorry. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time and for your consideration.
Thank you. Next, we have Hugo Michel, and after that, we will have Mona Rivera.
Good evening, members of our community. The inflation is affecting us, everyone. Cost of living, gas, food, and so. I don't need to tell you because you're living it too. I just want to mention that we, the blue collar workers, we've been called the pillar of the district. We're the first ones to be here and the last ones to leave. In my 35 years of service, I've been participating and leaving fires, pandemic, gas spills, remodeling of schools, evacuations, lockdowns, lack of substitutes, circumstances that can delay or prevent the function of a school. But we always step up to the plate and we help. For the readiness, the cleanliness, and the safety of our schools, so our students can have a good environment to learn. The proof is in the pudding. We deserve a better living. Thank you very much.
Mona Rivera, you have 2 minutes.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, President Dalla and Superintendent Brady and the rest of the family up there on the board. Thank you to our CSCA members for coming out and showing the board that we really mean business. I am here to represent my whole group. Again, I have a lot of 2/3 of them are 2 and 3 hour workers that come to work, and the duration time that they stay at the school district is over 7 hours a day, because with this pandemic and the gas prices going, they can't come for an hour and then go home and come back and spend for their gas going back and forth. So they're staying, they're doing even over, volunteering and doing the best that they can. As I said earlier, there's a lot of positions that we need to continue filling. And, like Hugo said, we are the first ones in the morning to come to the school district and the last ones to leave. We stay in the middle. We also are the first ones when the pandemic hit. The department, CNS department and the custodial department was here. Our IAs were here working from home. We had the librarians giving out distribution with the campus student supervisors and the M&O people working, whether from home or coming back and forth, to check the alarms, close the gates, whatever was needed. We need each other, and we need to have to stay to where we are strong together and work together and strive continuously for the children that we come to work for every day. So we ask if you can go deep, 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 deep in your pockets and have a heart. And I brought this group, and we're really, really sincere, and your ears are wonderful. And you know what, like I said, God bless you guys, and I hope you guys do what is right. Thank you.
Thank you for all your comments. Next, we have the agenda. We are going to vote for accepting the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Sarmiento and a second by Ms. Betancourt Castañeda to accept the agenda. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Our next item is item 13. Item 13 is to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion by Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda and a second by Ms. Gates. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 14 is to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on October 13th. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
And I will abstain from this motion, from voting on this item because I was not here, no, I was present at that meeting. So I have a motion by Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda and a second by Ms. Sarmiento. Please vote. Abstain.
Item passes 4 yes, 1 abstain.
Okay, the next item has to do with my absence, so I will recuse myself, and Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda, our clerk, will take over the meeting until I return.
Item 14B is to adopt Resolution 21-22.13 regarding absence for Board Member Ms. Maria Dalla due to a bereavement. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Sarmiento, can I get a second?
I second.
Have a motion by Ms. Sarmiento and a second by Ms. Lizaraga. Please vote.
Item passes 4 yes.
We have a 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda. Item 15 is to approve application for National School District to apply for the California Department of Education, California Code of Regulations, Title 5, Section 3043D waiver. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? I have a motion by Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda and a second by Ms. Sarmiento. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 15B is to approve contract CT 3884 through CT 3893 with the YMCA of San Diego County for 6th grade camp. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second, please.
Okay. Is there any discussion? No, hearing no discussion. Motion by Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda and a second by Ms. Gates. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 15C is to approve contract CT 3898, a San Diego County Interagency agreement to provide educational support to students in foster care of National School District from August 2021 to July 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion? Dr. Crouch?
Yes, I just wanted to share with the board, we did approve an item when it was in its infancy about a year ago with respect to having an interagency agreement to track and provide services for our neediest students, some of our neediest students, foster youth and homeless students. And so this agreement allows us to meet not only our legislative requirements, but also best serve our students. And so you'll see on this agreement, that the services, the data sharing, the components, the interagency piece lasts from August 2021 through July 2026. However, each year there is an annual cost of $500. But, and you'll see that at the bottom, and you will see this item also be approved each year subsequently in our annual maintenance agreement for that piece, for greater transparency to ensure that we're still moving in that direction with the board. But in approving this piece, it allows us to have continuity of services for those students without a break.
Because we usually don't approve contracts for so many years at a time, right?
Yes, and with the services components and the movement and the mobility, it's a critical component to have that continuity.
Okay, Ms. Gates?
I remember sitting in a DLAC meeting a very long time ago in which one of the presentations included encouraging our national city residents to foster a parent in order to be able to provide children with the support of staying in their community. That has never actually let me go. And another thing that I just am wondering about is I know the CASA program is also one of those for advocates for kids, I'm not really questioning anything here. Just wondering if we also have contact with them or encourage families in that direction for being child advocates. If we have something in place, and it doesn't have to be right now. I know me, I'll forget. So that's I'm just kind of pushing that to the side, but thank you for bringing this to us.
Dr. Brady, did you want to say something?
I just wanted to reiterate that the reason why we asked Dr. Kraft to speak to this is that we're not asking the board to encumber the money for all of the years of this approval, only the terms of us allowing to work within this contract. And there is a termination clause that with prior written notice in the requirement in part 4 of the agreement that we would be able to terminate at any time. So again, it's to continue services, but each year we'll bring the encumbrance of the cost of $500 to the board through the annual contract listing.
Could we note on here in the minutes that the contract not to exceed $500 per year?
Yes.
Okay, any other comments?
Yeah, I'd like to make it.
Yes, Ms. Sarmiento?
A few years ago, I was involved with, or worked for South Bay Community Services, in which they had a special program for foster youth. And I was very impressed by this program because what they did was they rented out an apartment building. They provided housing for specific foster youth. Some of them had children, some of them didn't, but they gave them a stipend, or actually what it was they were required to either go to school or work part-time or both, but those individuals paid so much for rent, I forget how much it was at the time, but when they were ready to leave and move on, whether it was to move up to a 4-year university, they were given all that money back, and that went to their education, to their living, to whatever. But I was very, very impressed with the support that they gave to the foster youth, and I'm really heartened to see that we're doing this starting at our level.
Any further comments? Okay, I have Ms. Sarmiento, would you like to amend your motion to include that the financial impact is $500 per year?
Okay.
I'll second. Okay, so we have a motion by Ms. Sarmiento and an amended motion by Ms. Sarmiento and a second by Ms. Betancourt Castañeda to approve the contract with the San Diego County Interagency for the foster care for August 2021 to 2026, not to exceed $500 per year. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 15D is to approve contract CT 3899 with 360-degree customer Inc. to provide special education services for the 2021-2022 school year. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this the temporary, right? Okay. Just to clarify.
Yes.
Does that answer your
Until-
question?
Until June 30. Okay. Yeah, just reading the date.
Any other comments or questions? Okay. I have a motion by Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda and a second by Ms. Gates. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 16A is to approve agreement CT 3902 with National University and National School District for an unpaid student teaching field experience and practicum agreement. Do I hear a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion. The motion was made by Ms. Gates and the second by Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 16B is to approve contract CT 3903 with Azusa Pacific University and National School District from July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2025 for educational field experiences. Is there a motion?
Yes, please. I'd like to move that as well.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I'm thankful that we continue to work with so many education institutions. We have a unique school district in a lot of ways. And as our CSEA members remind us, very much a family because we're small enough to be one. So for teachers, for learning to be teachers, to get that opportunity to be here, I think is a real gift to the generations of students to come. So I'm glad that we take this as seriously as we do.
Yeah, we do. Thank you. I have a motion by Ms. Gates, a second by Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 17A is to authorize district personal property as disposal, obsolete, and surplus per California Code 17545-17555. Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve.
And is there a second?
I second
Is there any discussion? I have a motion by, I'm sorry, Mr. Alanes.
Thank you. So this is the first time we've brought this item to the board since we made the change from doing just a blanket resolution that allowed the CBO to decide what is obsolete to bring these items listed specifically to the board to take action on. We've placed it in the action items for this board agenda, so it could be shown. We're trying to be as transparent as possible about the items we're actually going to surplus. We do plan on putting this item in consent in the future, just because it is regular and routine, unless directed otherwise.
Okay, I agree with that. Any further discussion? Okay,
I remember some of these things actually from classroom 12 years ago, so yes.
yeah. Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Bettencourt Castañeda and a second by Ms. Lizarraga. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 17B is to approve the elementary and secondary school emergency relief third ESSER, the third expenditure plan. Do I have a motion? Motion to approve?
I
And is there a
second. I seconded.
Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 18 is board communications. Ms. Lizarraga?
Oh, what an exciting night, right? I was like, they keep my breath because when you're mention family is when they move us a little bit. So I would like to thank all the new employees because it's always exciting to see people that are evolving and becoming more professional. And, Mr. Abarca, Mr. Esi, Mr. Huerta, and I see their smiles coming into this board and they belong to the family. And I also want to congratulate National City for winning a prize in about Robert Johnson Health and Culture Prize Foundation. It was exciting to see how the community gets together and it's a community sense. So thank you. Congratulations, National City, and welcome that you're here with us until this end. Thank you, Mrs. Melissa. So nice to have you. And I would like to wish Ms. Betancourt Castañeda happy birthday and I wish you the best and everybody else. And that's all it is. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Ms. Gates?
I as well want to thank our CSEA classified staff for coming and speaking to us. So often what you do is behind the scenes and we can easily forget that without you, things just don't run. That's just all there is to it. They just don't run. It is everything from getting doors unlocked for us in the morning, making sure that floors were vacuumed so kids feel like they are coming into a fresh place every day that's prepared for them, to feeding them, remembering their names, checking them in, contact with parents. There's just so much that you do on a daily basis, and we honor and respect and thank you for it. Happy birthday, Mrs. Betancourt Castañeda. It's, my dad says the option to getting older is not great. So I will gladly celebrate that you're getting older with the rest of us. Again, thank you for the work that goes into these meetings so that we can be as informed as possible and work on behalf of our kids.
Ms. Sarmiento?
Yes, I'd just like to say that there was an article in the newspaper just the other day about a $600,000 endowment that was donated to Southwestern College. That endowment came from Sue Crittenden, who was a 34-year teacher here in the National School District. She started at Pomeroy Elementary School when it first opened. And she knew that National City is a low-income area. She knew that she wanted to do something to help not only her students as they got older and moved on and chose their careers, but also to assist those students who were coming after them. She passed away in 2018, but she had also established an endowed scholarship fund for the students in National City. And with that, they give 30 students at Sweetwater High School $500 apiece every year. And she knew that the key to success is a strong education. And I just wanted to point out that I'm very proud to have known her. My kids attended Pomeroy, and when she taught there, they didn't have her as a teacher, but I know that she was one of those that stood out and cared very much for her students, and what a way of showing it. Thank you, that's all I have.
Ms. Betancourt Castañeda?
Thank you. I just wanted to first welcome our new employees, those that were here with us tonight and those who were unable to attend, and also to thank all of our speakers here tonight. I know firsthand that there's a lot of work that goes into our school sites, and it doesn't go unnoticed. All through the pandemic, handing out food to families day in and day out, and preparing all the meals. It's not just everything is magically available. Everything has to be prepared, and time gets put into making those accommodations. And also would like to welcome my mom here tonight. I've only tortured her a few times to come, but she would like to join us here for my birthday. So thank you, Mom, for being here. And lastly, I would like to say happy birthday also to Mr. Mike Dalla. We share a birthday. And usually he's here, but so from a distance, happy birthday, and please share that with him as well. And thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you, Mr. Albanese.
So I just wanted to say thank you to El Toyon. We took a visit yesterday with Executive Cabinet. From the moment I stepped onto campus, I felt extremely welcome. And I just wanted to especially recognize Mr. Kukines. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. He took it on himself to start a football league at his school, and he referees it during the lunchtime. And those kids are really good. They would run circles around me. So I just wanted to thank El Toyon for the visit and the extremely good experience I had yesterday.
Thank you, Dr. Hernandez.
Yes, I would like to welcome all the new employees. It's always exciting to welcome so many new employees. And of course, the Human Resources Department is elated to have Melissa Northcutt on our team. She comes with the little bio that I read, didn't really do her justice because she comes with a wealth of experience. If you go into my department, you would never know that she just started on Monday. It's already running like clockwork. It's amazing. So we're very fortunate to have you. So welcome. I also wanted to thank our administrators, especially our principals, for always putting children first. Today, Dr. Brady and I went to visit various schools because we were just checking some things on the school sites. And as we traveled from school to school, we had the opportunity to see Miss Young as a superhero, dressed up as a superhero to say no to drugs. And then we moved on to the next school. Miss Melanie's was in a Hawaiian outfit. And then we went to Las Palmas, and Miss Ruan was dressed in mismatched clothes and was a little embarrassed when we got there, but it was definitely just showed how important they always put students first. And even though we're still in a pandemic, they're still able to do these activities for our students to really promote them. So I just want to thank all of the principals. And we didn't have an opportunity to go see all of them, but these were the ones that we did have the opportunity to see. So thank you. Also, Ms. Betancourt Castañeda, happy birthday. Mr. Mike Dalla, happy birthday to him as well. And thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Kraft?
Thank you. I too want to celebrate the amazing work that we are seeing at our sites. When you speak about family and working together to serve kids, you are seeing it. There's been incredible work coming out of the MTSS work that the schools have been focused on, and they are putting incredibly personalized supports in place for each kid. They are providing targeted supports, both academically and social emotionally. And everything is always done with this amazing smile and kindness, no matter how hard it is. And as you heard my colleagues, we've had the opportunity to visit sites, and it's not just one site. It's a pandemic across the sites. And so I just wanted to celebrate the work that they're doing and welcome our new employees and say happy birthday to the birthday, Mr. Dalla and Mrs. Betancourt Castaneda.
Thank you. Dr. Brady?
Well, yes, I would like to say happy birthday to Mrs. Betancourt and happy birthday to Maria Betancourt Castañeda. And a happy birthday to the other M. Dalla that I know, and have to be careful when I make my notes that I write Maria or Mike. So happy birthday to Mike Dalla. I want to thank Trustee Lizarraga for notifying me of the students at Central that have been working on accessibility and accessibility projects. And I had the opportunity to visit with them on Tuesday afternoon, and they were very convincing. They shared with me all of the things they've done to learn more about accessibility for students with disabilities. We had an opportunity to talk about my student roundtable. This year, we're focusing on reducing inequalities, specifically as they relate to students with disabilities. And they shared with me some concerns that they had about ways that students with disabilities can get around their school in particular, but perhaps other schools within our district. So I look forward to a meeting that we have on the books on November 5th. We have room for one more board member. If any board members would like to join that conversation, it will be the principal at Central. We're having it at 3:30. The teacher will be there. Ms. Lizarraga is going to be there. David Castillo and Erica Venetians will be there. And we're going to just talk about what are possible things that are possible so that we can have a deeper conversation with the students, and perhaps they can come at times where the board may be voting on some of our facility improvements to help meet the needs of our students. I also wanted to thank Trustee Betancourt Castañeda for volunteering to go and get COVID-19 tested at one of our testing sites. We have been hearing from some of our employees and some of our parents that our testing has been experiencing some delays. And we think it's just the system itself is very overtaxed. We know that a lot of employees now have to get tested across the county. And so it's not just what we can offer at our school district, but when they end up at the labs only have so much capacity. So we are adding, as of this next week, antigen testing, the rapid antigen testing to the PCR testing. So what that means is when somebody shows up to get tested, they will get a quick test that they'll know the result within 10 to 15 minutes. And then they'll also have the PCR test that will go to the lab. So even if it's delayed, they'll at least have a peace of mind whether or not they are COVID positive or not. And then that will help us in our classrooms as well. So I just wanted to make sure the board was aware of that change, that would be added to the testing to help mitigate the long testing wait time for results. And I think that's it. Thank you. Have a great night.
Well, I would just like to welcome our new employees, and I'd like to thank CSEA for coming to address the board. You're always welcome to come into this setting and addressing us and talking to us, and we do listen and take into consideration what you say. I'd like to welcome Ms. Betancourt to our meeting, and I'd like to wish her daughter, my colleague, or our colleague, Ms. Betancourt Castañeda, a very happy birthday. And also I'd like to wish Michael Dalla, the love of my life, happy birthday, honey. With that, good night to everyone, and we'll see you at the next meeting. Meeting adjourned.